Today I'm going to be talking about Jupiter's transit into the sign of Pisces, Jupiter's own sign. So after a 12-year cycle around the zodiac, Jupiter is now coming back into its own sign. This is a most awaited transit. Jupiter has been very uncomfortable for the last 3 years. Sagittarius, being Jupiter's own sign, should have been a good transit had Jupiter not been conjunct Ketu, and then had it not been hemmed between Ketu and Saturn. Capricorn was a sign of debility. Capricorn and Aquarius, both signs of Saturn. Not the best signs for Jupiter. Jupiter does best in watery signs. It also does very well in fiery signs. But earthy and airy are not the best signs for Jupiter. Jupiter's own element is ether, Akash Tattva. And ether is all about, bringing things together, bringing people together, uniting. In the earthy signs, it's all about money. It's all about material things. And when we're so much in the race of making money, just running after material things, then how much of bringing people together can be there, So Jupiter doesn't function very well in earthy signs because those are very materialistic signs. Jupiter needs water, emotions. You bring people together with emotions, or you bring people together with ideas and ideals and values, which are fiery signs. So now finally, after a 12-year cycle, Jupiter enters Pisces. Most comfortable in Pisces. Pisces is the endless ocean. And Pisces is the natural 12th house, where it's all about giving up. All about, Vyay, we call it Vyay Sthan. But it's more about selflessness, where you go beyond yourself. It's the 12th from the first house, 12th from Aries, where you go beyond yourself, where you've made your gains, where you've tried to fulfill your ambitions. You've been through the entire zodiac, and now you want to give back. You give back to others a little bit of what you have. So Pisces is all about empathy, sympathy, compassion, love, uniting, sharing, knowledge, giving back to others. It's in the 12th sign of the zodiac where we understand that it is important to give back. If you have a Jupiter in Pisces in your natal chart, you'd almost be having the thought that it is your duty to do something for somebody that needs help, that it is your dharma to do something for somebody if you think you can, and if you know the other person needs some kind of help. So those are the kind of vibrations that Jupiter in Pisces has. It will evoke in us the feeling, the thought, the empathy, sympathy, compassion, love, generosity for everybody else. And if you want that Jupiter, the planet of luck, the planet of destiny, the planet of hope and joy, brings luck to your life, brings joy and happiness, brings opportunity to your life, then in the sign of Pisces, you have to learn to give. It's all about giving. In this sign, it's all about giving. It's about intuition. It's not about facts. It's not about going into details. It's not about the nitty-gritty things. It's about the big picture. It's about the idea, the ideals. It's the imagination, intuition. So dreams are a very important theme in this 1 year. Whatever dreams you're having, how much do you connect with yourself? Are you able to understand what your dreams are? Omens, any signals that you get, any omens that you feel, Sometimes You're trying to do something and you get all the negative omens. So maybe that thing is just not right for you. Sometimes you're just holding on to something. And then sometimes you're trying to do something and you get all the positive omens. This sign of Pisces is all about omens, intuition, mysticism, spirituality, faith, having faith, believing that it will happen, imagining that it will happen. And how will it happen? How can you awaken this Jupiter? How can you activate this Jupiter? By giving. Because Jupiter is a teacher, a guru. That is why it doesn't do very well in, the earthy signs or the signs where it's all about dreams and ambitions. Jupiter wants to give. That's what a teacher does. They share knowledge. They give. They mentor you. They guide you. So it does very well in the watery signs. The watery signs where water is flowing. What is flowing, That's where things can be shared. You connect with others through emotions and you share. And that is how you can activate this Jupiter here in Pisces, by giving, by helping, by sharing with compassion, by being empathetic and sympathetic. So wherever this sign falls in your chart is where you will feel some expansion, some positivity, activation. But the activation will happen if you give, if you share. So sharing of knowledge, sharing of your time, selflessly giving your time to somebody, sharing of your energy, working somewhere, selfless service, putting in effort somewhere for somebody where you're not expecting anything in return. That's selfless service. You do that and you activate this Jupiter in Pisces, and that part of your chart gets activated in a very positive manner. So I know people ask for remedies. Frankly, these are the real remedies. This is what astrology is really about. It's the lessons, it's the things that we've got to learn, connecting the planets to the signs. What is the sign saying? What is the planet's nature? And in Jupiter, with Jupiter in Pisces, it's the simplest to understand. It's all about giving and sharing, loving, compassion. So the flip side, the only negative aspect of this transit is it's the 12th house. The 6th is your daily routine, it's being very focused, being very calculated, being a perfectionist. And the 12th is faith, just believing that it will happen. So sometimes when we get very optimistic and we just have faith, we feel, that feeling is there that it's going to happen for us, it's going to work out for us no matter what. So when the feeling is there, that we may stop being practical, we may just expect things to happen for us with luck. And we may not be putting in the right effort, enough effort. The right amount of action, effort and initiative may not be there. We may be missing out on the practical details, sometimes when you've seen the big picture, you need some planning also after that. Of course, it's a very fortunate year. Have faith. Goodness will be there by your side. It's like having your fairy godmother stand by you, Jupiter in Pisces. But you too will have to do your effort. Even if food is served to you on a platter, you got to pick it up and put it in your mouth. Things don't happen magically. Opportunities come. You need to grab them. And remember, what goes around comes around. That is what Jupiter in Pisces is like. Remember to share love. Remember to share joy. Remember to be helpful, because that will come back to you. It's a full cycle of Jupiters that is completing. And it is very important that we understand this energy, because if we become selfish, if we only think about ourselves, if we are not open to sharing, and sharing of knowledge is the best you can do. Guru, Jupiter is a teacher. So in the sign of Pisces, it's all about sharing of knowledge, not holding back, not being miserly about it, not being selfish about it. So if you can share, if you can help in some way, then you activate this Jupiter. Otherwise, it's going to be, if you're just being selfish and all, this is not a selfish Jupiter. This is a giving Jupiter, and then that is the only way to activate this energy. So if you have this in your natal chart, even then you got to understand this energy, and in transit it works for all of us. So now I'm going to be talking about all the signs. See this from the ascendant as well as the moon. You should see all transits from both the ascendant as well as the moon. But just a small hint I'll give you. From the ascendant, the kendras or the quadrant houses, or the moon, the kendras or the quadrant houses, whichever has more planets becomes stronger. You will feel the impact from that area more. But again, you should see it from both. The moon is your heart, your mind. The ascendant is your intelligence and the physical self. Another thing important is remember to take a vacation. Jupiter in Pisces shows going away somewhere far off, traveling far off from the hustle bustle. Go somewhere far off and meditate. Spend some quiet time. You will get rejuvenated in a very positive way. Lots of positive ideas will come to you. Use your imagination, use your creative skills. Pisces is a very creative sign. Creativity could be the key. Art and beauty could be the key. Art is, Venus gets exalted in Pisces. Art is a very, very important quality of Pisces. Art, artistic things, creativity, imagination, introspection, intuition, a sudden spark, and omens. Remember these keywords. Dreams. They are important this 1 year. I will start with Aries. Aries, in your 12th house, you have Jupiter's transit. Of course, all this is, for you. Dreams, imagination, healing, subconscious, intuition. Aries, remember, you got to go take a break this year. Go somewhere far off. Go for a pilgrimage. Or go to a resort far off, where you're surrounded by nature. Spend time in nature. Meditate. You will heal. It's a very good time to heal. There will be expenditure. This could be, expenditure related to work, expenditure related to travel, to home, comfort, property, real estate, vehicles, expenditure of your energy, being, doing more charity this year. This could be expenditure on health, because you're also going to have Rahu in the ascendant, Rahu Ketu. And also Saturn is, could be in Aquarius for a while, also aspecting the ascendant. So April, May, June, July, more caution about your health, Aries. So expenditure on health, but it's a Vipreet Raj Yoga. The sign Lord is back in its own sign, the 12th sign. So you will maybe have to go to a hospital, but come back healed. So it's better. The remedy is do some charity. Do some charity to a hospital maybe. Do some charity for somebody, for people who are not able to pay for their medicines, or for some treatment. Charity work, selfless service on Thursday especially, because Jupiter rules Thursdays. Any kind of selfless service on Thursdays, any kind of charity on Thursdays will certainly help you. Travel, property, occult sciences, deep research, introspection, meditation, healing. These are key themes for you. Gains through the 8th house. Luck. Jupiter's 9th aspect is on the 8th house. So, luck in the 8th house you will feel. Some gains from inheritances, gains from investments, comfort in your daily routine. You will desire comfort in your daily routine. But in this transit, Aries, focus more on the bigger picture. Don't go into the nitty-gritties, too much. Don't go into the details too much. Have faith. Use your intuition. Do introspect. Do meditate a little bit. You will get the answers. You will get to heal all the hurt, all the negativity that is inside you, whatever makes you lose your sleep, all that will get healed. It's a good transit. Some expenditure will be there. Like I said, the remedy is charity and selfless service. Taurus, Jupiter transits in your 11th house. So now you're going to be making new ambitions, new plans about your dreams, desires. And there's going to be a strange confidence in you that all the new dreams that you make will come true. There's going to be a real positivity about your ambitions now. Your network circle is going to increase. People with Jupiter ascendants, Jupiter moon signs, Pisces, Sagittarius, you will be meeting more of those people, or people who are connected to Jupiterian kind of works, things related to knowledge and education, people who are counselors, guidance counselors or teachers, you're going to be interacting more with those people. And you should increase your network circle. Don't just continue with whatever circle you are in now. Remember to expand. Remember to go beyond. Because that is where you will start gaining from. You're going to feel, confident about yourself in your network circles. You're going to feel worthy of your ambitions and dreams. You're going to feel that you deserve all this and you're going to get all this done for yourself. And things are going to start working for you. Especially those people who have anything to do with, teaching, learning, sales and marketing, advertisement, media, working with large groups of people in projects with other people. Don't be working alone. This is a time to connect with others, to connect and work with others. If you're working, if your ambitions are in any way related to art, creativity, beauty, if you want to start a new creative project for for pregnancies, for people who want children, it's a good transit. For people who want to start a creative project, for people who are interested in new learning, new teachings, it's a good transit. For those that want to, expand their businesses, have new partnerships, maybe even give out franchises, that ways a big expansion can be seen. It's a good transit. For contracts and deals, it's a good transit. For marriage, it's a good transit. So all your ambitions, whether they be connected to your business, whether they be connected to your personal life, the growth of your family, it's a very good transit. But extremely supportive for working with others, not working as a loner. Very, very supportive if you reach out to others. If you pull yourself back, if you are not very social, then you may not get the best benefits of this transit. And remember to give. Remember to have the compassionate qualities of Jupiter in Pisces, because you activate your Jupiter. So it's almost like, you're showing your compassion, your empathy towards somebody. And suddenly that person comes out and in some way, opens up an entire universe for you of opportunities where your ambitions can be fulfilled. So remember to do those good deeds, that may just come back for your own benefit later on. Then Gemini, so you have Jupiter in the 10th house in Pisces. So Gemini, some kind of expansion can be seen here. This expansion can be related to your work. You could get a promotion. You could have a higher package now. You will have a better status in your workplace. Your, wealth will increase. This from here, Jupiter is aspecting your 2nd house. There can be growth of your family. Your status can change because 10th house is status. Status can change related to family. So sometimes I've seen marriages also happen in this kind of a transit because Jupiter is aspecting the 4th house and the 2nd house. That can happen. So wealth can increase, comfort can increase, status position can increase, marriage can happen. your daily routine, your people who work for you, people who work in your team, it's going to be easier for you. It's going to be easier for you to connect with them. It's a very good position for getting the reward of all your previous actions. So Jupiter here in Pisces is extremely good. It's going to open up a lot of opportunities for you. And it's not the time to hold back, because Pisces is all about connecting. Jupiter in Pisces is all about connecting and associating and giving and sharing and then getting back in return. It's a very good transit for your career, Gemini. Extremely good for your career. You will also have Rahu transiting the 11th house. So both these positions are envious positions. Jupiter in the 10th house in Pisces, Rahu in the 11th house. It's all about gains. It's all about ambitions, fulfilling your desires. You could be buying a new home, new property. You could be getting a really nice raise. Your status will be good. Your boss will be good with you. 10th house is the boss. Authority figures will be good with you. They'll be compassionate with you. And remember to give back that compassion to everybody else at work. Be a teacher, a guru in the office. Don't be aggressive, dominating, having a bad attitude. Then you will not be able to activate this very, very good transit, very positive transit for yourself. Then Cancer. Cancer, you have this transit in your 9th house. The entire world opens up for you. Your horizons widen this year. Because the 9th house is the entire world, the universe. You could be traveling. You could be learning about new cultures. You could be learning new things which you have never imagined doing. There's some kind of a new beginning for you. New beginning which will change your very thinking, which will expand your mind. And this is the house of luck and opportunity. Of course, that is activated. This is the house of your father. It shows positive results for your father. You could be finding a teacher or a guru or a mentor for yourself. But it is also extremely important in this transit that you learn something, that you teach something. For authors, writers, people working in sales, marketing, advertising, media, this is a very good transit. For recognition, you will be recognized. Because from here Jupiter is looking at the ascendant, the 5th house. For marriage, it's a good time, especially for getting engaged. So it's a very good transit for new opportunities, new beginnings. This is where the 9th house is where career starts. This is where the opportunity comes from. Jupiter here, new options, new opportunities, new learnings, new teachings, new values. Positivity for your guru, for your teacher. Positivity for yourself. Learn something this year. Learn something. It's a new cycle for learning. Travel. Travel is indicated big time. Then for Leo. For Leo, this transit is in the 8th house. 8th house is a very personal house. So this year you may just not be interested in practical things. It's a very personal, healing time. It's a very personal time. You want time for yourself. You want to be quietly doing things for yourself. You are not interested in the limelight right now. You are interested in healing yourself. You are interested in, letting go of any baggage that you have, any fears that you have. You will gain in the sense that your spouse's income can grow. You can have positive results from investments, from the banks, if you're working in the banking sector, the financial industry, if you're interested in astrology, research work, any deep hidden science, history, archaeology, it's a very good transit for you. If you are expecting an inheritance this 1 year, it will happen for you. So positive results related to the 8th house. So see, this is an 8th house transit. Jupiter is a lord of a trine and an 8th house for you. It's a good planet for Leo. Jupiter is a favorable planet, but this is a Viprit Rajyog. Jupiter is in the 8th house in its own sign. So some problem can come up, like a health issue that may be hidden, and now it comes out, and you get to maybe go to a hospital. Jupiter is aspecting the 12th house, and you get to heal and come home. It's aspecting the 4th house, like that. Also, you go through a problem and you come back much better, because had that problem not come out, it could have gone beyond control while it was hidden, you see. So it's a good transit. For even if you come across some negativity, remember the net result should be positive for you. It will all be for your benefit. At the end, you should benefit somehow from it. So it's definitely a good transit. Also, there can be travel. There can be some gift related to property or vehicle. There will be new learning and new knowledge. Jupiter aspecting the 4th house of learning. So you may be interested in spending money on some property or a vehicle. Here in this transit, I would suggest, look for your talents. Look for what's hidden inside you. Look for that hidden spark inside you. And look for those limitations. It's the right time to get rid of the limitations which are pulling you back. So these are personal houses where we hide our limitations, where these are the subconscious areas of our life, the 12th house, the 8th house. So healing, developing the intuitive side of ourselves will go a long way in supporting us once Jupiter moves to the 9th house for Leo as well. Then Virgo, Jupiter is in the 7th house. Expansion in the 7th house, growth in the 7th house. Your social circle will increase. You can get name, fame. Jupiter is aspecting the Lagna from here. So teaching, counseling, guidance, counselors, freelance workers, all those careers are going to do very well. Sales, marketing, writing, publishing a book and getting some fame, that can work for you. New people entering your business, sales, marketing, advertising. This is really, really good. Marriage can happen for you. Your ambitions getting fulfilled, your dreams expanding. But remember to share, to have compassion, to give to others, to do charity, to do selfless service, especially on Thursdays, to be kind. Remember to not be too practical where you're giving to somebody. Remember to connect on a deeper level. Not always think of what you will get by connecting with somebody. So sometimes when we are interacting with people, it's only so that there is some unresolved karma between the two. And once the karma is resolved, a lot of knots get untied, and then you can move on to your life. So Jupiter in the 7th house in Pisces is going to resolve a lot of karma related to relationships. Getting married is a very positive theme. In a bad marriage, now Jupiter is going to resolve that bad marriage. It can break as well. Rahu is also going to be transiting the 8th house, you see. Rahu can cause trouble. But sometimes here it means that some karma is resolved, some changes will take place related to the 7th house. So new relationships forming, some bad relationships breaking can also happen. With Rahu transiting in the 8th house, Jupiter in the 7th house is just going to resolve things for you. Then Libra, Jupiter in the 6th house of daily routine, service, litigation. Your routine work, you are going to perform so well. You are going to get new opportunities, new job options. There will be no dearth of jobs for you. Your competitors, you don't need to go out of your way and try and defeat. They'll just move away. Your competitors will just move away. And you're going to have a soft attitude. You're going to be like a teacher, a guru. You do not want conflict this year. You don't want to fight this year. You just want to do your best. Just remember to do your best in your job, your best in your daily routine. You'd want to make even your competitors your friends, your enemies your friends. You will not be able to understand why you have enemies. You're going to be soft with your enemies, and you may end up winning back your enemies. Your focus is going to be your health and your daily routine. Remember, don't be casual about your health. Jupiter in the 6th house can be a little relaxed, but it's time to work on your health. It's time to develop good health routines. Remember not to go overboard with your eating habits. Jupiter is aspecting the 2nd house as well. So here, I've seen Jupiter in the 6th house. Sometimes people tend to eat too much, and sugar levels tend to increase. So be cautious. Be very alert about whatever you're eating, food habits, exercise habits. For career, it's a really good time. There's going to be no dearth of jobs for you. There's going to be no dearth of opportunities for you. You will be recognized for your work. And your competitors also will just back out by themselves. You don't need to really fight them off. It's a good transit for you. And there can be a status, a position. There will be growth in your financial, in your finances. There can be travel abroad. There can be travel abroad, and going abroad you get a job quickly. That kind of a situation can also be seen with Jupiter's transit in Pisces in your 6th house. Then Scorpio, Jupiter transits your 5th house. 5th house aspects your 11th, your 9th, your 1st house. Expansion in the 5th house. Happiness, comfort, a comfortable routine, no stress. You don't want to take any responsibility. More relaxed. This year is more relaxed and happy, and you'd be learning and doing things which you enjoy doing. The 5th house is about our hobbies and enjoyment and comfort, our confidence, our learning, our creativity. Jupiter is here. You may be learning creative things. You may be learning a lot of things this year. New knowledge, new creative projects, better bonding with your children, some kind of a love relationship, new contacts. It's respecting the 11th house. Network circle will increase. It's looking at the Lagna. Good for your physical self, good for your health, good for your sense of confidence, your ambitions, your learning, your knowledge, even travel, gurus, teachers, father. It's a very positive transit. It's one of the best transits, Jupiter in the 5th house. So, remember to learn something new. Remember to expand your network circle. Remember to start creative projects. Creative projects usually started while Jupiter is in the 5th house really tend to do well. Then, for Sagittarius, Jupiter is in the 4th house. In your home, in your heart. Lot of peace you will feel. Lot of comfort you will feel. Healing you will feel. You will want to go back to your roots. If you live somewhere, in some foreign country, you want to go back home. You will feel the tug to go back home. And if you're already back home, you may want to travel. There could be opportunities of traveling, of relocation. There will be expenditure on property, on home. You want to do your home, redo your home, decorate your home, maybe paint your home, maybe buy new furniture. You want to spend more time at home. You may have a job where you can work from home now. Jupiter aspects the 10th house. Some positivity related to work from home. Your boss is going to be softer this year. The expenditure could be on a vehicle or property. You could be getting a gift of a vehicle or property. Gifts related to the 4th house. New family member. The 4th house expands. Home expands. Positivity at home. So some kind of a investment that brings comfort home. Some kind of some gains and benefits from far off places. Some gains and benefits from long-term investments, banking, insurance that brings some kind of comfort home. This is a very positive transit for healing, for relaxing, for learning, for comfort, for connecting with your self, for connecting with your peace. It's a very, very positive transit for Sagittarius. Then Capricorn. Jupiter is in the 3rd house. Aspects the 7th house, the 9th house, the 11th house. This is not the best position for Jupiter. You may tend not to listen to good advice this year. You may be lazy this year because the 3rd house is prakram, is effort and initiative. And Jupiter is a very soft planet. Even though it brings positivity here, it's good for your siblings. Jupiter in the 3rd house, some good luck for your siblings will be there. Good luck for your neighbors will be there. Good luck for you will be there if you learn or teach something. If you are a writer, an author, if you want to write a book, teaching, learning, writing, publishing, sales, marketing, media, advertising, all these fields will prosper. Marriage, networking, socializing, expansion in business, travel, long distance travel, local travel, enjoyment, fun. All that is really good. But you may sometimes feel that you do not really need to make much effort, that you're very lucky. Things are just going to happen. All your ambitions, Jupiter is aspecting the 11th house, all your ambitions, long-term ambitions will be fulfilled because you're very lucky. And then you miss the opportunity. Because this is an excellent transit. Jupiter is aspecting the 9th house of opportunity. Opportunity could come your way. But you are so positive, so complacent that you may not take initiatives. That is one negative side. The second side is you get some good advice and you ignore it because the positivity, the confidence is there so much about your ambitions, about your intelligence. The 3rd house is also your intelligence. So, these are a couple of things you got to be cautious about. Good transit, good times with your siblings, with your friends. Socializing will be very, very positive this year. We've been cooped up for the last couple of years. Things are going to open up for you now. Your interaction with the world is going to increase. Remember to be kind and share. Remember to have compassion. Then, for Aquarius, Jupiter is in the 2nd house, aspecting the 6th house, the 8th house and the 10th house. Feel good factor about your finances. Positivity in your finances. You may be interested or may get the opportunity to learn new skills in order to increase your income. So this year you will attract positiveness to your bank, to your assets, to your wealth. You may be buying a lot of things, jewelry and things like that, because you may feel positive and confident. And you will also be learning skills, interested in learning skills, in expanding your wealth. Expansion in family, expansion in your value system, expansion in your self-worth. 2nd houses, are assets. So when there is expansion there, you start feeling confident. I'm doing very well. I'm worth this. I'm worth that. I can fulfill all my ambitions. I have this much money. I'm growing every day. So that kind of a positivity. Positivity in your speech. Positivity in your food. You may say something that may just come true. It's like having Ma Saraswati sit on your tongue. Be very cautious. Don't speak negative this year. whatever you say will have the tendency of just happening for you. So try and speak only positive and good things. Good for your daily routine, for your work. You may buy a pet and bring the pet home. So it's some kind of an expansion in your family. You may have gains from the 8th house, from the finance industry. You may be wanting a loan, and yes, you will be able to secure it. You will be successful in securing a loan if you're going to apply for one. So it's very, very positive. Remember to work on your eating habits. Don't go overboard. Jupiter loves sweets. Don't go overboard. You will also have the tendency of gaining weight. Then Jupiter for Pisces is in the ascendant in the 1st house. So of course Jupiter expands. Your expansion, your physical expansion, you can gain weight right now. You will feel confident. You will feel positive. Jupiter is Digbali. You will talk a lot of sense. You will talk a lot of optimism. People will be attracted to you. People may come and take your advice. You will have the tendency of giving good advice. Jupiter is Digbali in directional strength. This is a new cycle. Jupiter coming back to the Lagna. Lot of negativity you may have faced in the last 10-11 years. You want to leave that behind. You want to start afresh. Some new beginnings will be there. A new cycle is there. Some new starts will happen. You do not want to go into any details, because Pisces is imagination, positivity, hopefulness, faith. That is going to be your personality this year. Intuition. You may have sudden intuitive thoughts, sudden intuitions, which can be like a spark of creativity. You may start some new creative projects. There's going to be no stopping you. You're going to be very attractive to others. People will want to come and spend more time with you. Remember to stay tuned to your dreams. Remember to write down your dreams every night. Remember omens. Remember to note down any omens, any intuitions, any sudden thoughts that you have. Remember to write those down. You could be getting messages right now. Jupiter's in the ascendant. Some new beginning is going to be there. Remember to be kind. Remember to have compassion. Jupiter is aspecting the 7th house of marriage and partnerships. Some expansion is going to be there for you. You could have name, fame, status. People can be looking up to you right now. You could be learning something new. You could be a teacher. You could have a new opportunity where you're a teacher, a guidance counselor. Creative projects are very good. So this is the beginning of a new 12-year cycle for you, Pisces. Remember to start something new. Remember to stay tuned to your intuitive side. Remember to meditate a little bit. Write down your dreams. For children, pregnancies, education, long distance travel, for your father, for marriage, business partnerships, learning, creative projects, new beginnings. This is the best time. So that is all for now. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.